Good.
Obviously, coming off the back of another Champions League loss, how have the girls prepared for this game?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. We don't want to lose against anybody really, but you can understand the quality that Lyon have. So I think from our perspective, it's just about focus on what we can achieve against Tottenham now. So the players are back in today. We'll see how they are, how they land, and then really just get focused about what we need to do, Tottenham. So you just have to find a way to quickly bounce back, focus, and that's what I know the players will do. So right now, we haven't seen the players. They're coming this morning. We'll assess this morning and see where we're at.
Obviously, how important is it taking home the 3 points given the tightness of the league?
Yeah, it's really important. Tottenham are in a good run of form, so we need to make sure we are ready. And we know the challenges that we're going to face, but we need to be focused. And as I say, we need to look at the ways in which we can win the game. That if we can get to our standards and our levels, I have no doubt, we can give Tottenham a really tough time.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Jamie Lee. Have a good day.
Thank you. Dan, please.
Morning, Mark. Hope you're well.
Morning, mate.
I just wanted to ask you about Spurs. Obviously, I think the biggest improvement under Martin has been defensively. So, what challenges do they pose your attackers, and how do you go about kind of overcoming that?
Yeah, I think it's the whole team, really, Dan. I think it's the way they press, the energy that they'll commit to it, and I think we've got to focus on that and try and stop that as much as we can. But also understand they can play football as well. So I think it's press, aggressiveness, and being able to impact that and try and play through it as much as we can. But also mixing our game and understanding that we're at home with the focus that we can, with the ball, I think we can move any opponent. We showed that against Lyon in spells. So I think if we can do that while respecting what Martin has done and so on at their team, I think we can hurt anybody. So we have to be alive, Dan, and I think if we can do that, you'll see a lot of good things on Sunday.
Obviously, Martin's really picked that team up from where they were last season. Obviously, changing style over a very quick period of time. Did you expect them to be kind of where they are now? Kind of, I don't want to say punched above their weight, but kind of in the mix with those teams pushing for European places.
In all honesty, I say expect. I think Martin's done obviously a really good job. But what I'd say is in the first season, everybody, that you're a little bit unknown. So I think where Tottenham, where you've shown the real impact is they're more defensively solid. I think, under Robert, they were really attacking, really aggressive. But now with Martin, he's solidified that while still playing good football. And I think I expected that. Knowing Martin the way I do, I expected them to have that balance. But it's really good that they've done it, so quickly. It's usually, honestly, Dan, it's usually second season where people kind of try to find you out because they've seen you for a little bit longer. But no, look, he can be happy and proud of what he's achieving so far. And there's no doubt, we're playing back to back really, apart from the Champions League. So it'll be a tough task. But look, we're looking forward to it. We know if we can get to our levels, it doesn't matter who turns up at Lee. We can have the advantage, and we need to make sure we get to that level.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Mark. Best of luck.
Thank you, mate. Have a great day.
Thanks, Dan. Asif, please.
Hi, Mark.
Good morning, Asif. Good to see you, mate.
You had 2 days to reflect on the defeat to Lyon. A lot of your fans believe that making so many changes for a Champions League match meant that you were prioritising this weekend's match. Is that fair? And does that put even more pressure on you to get a result against Spurs?
I mean, look, there's always pressure to get a result against anybody, Asif. Like, the funny thing is, there's a pressure for us to beat Lyon. So I understand it. Look, that's an expectation because people see rotation. What I'd say, Asif, is when I don't rotate, people question why I didn't rotate. When I do rotate, they question why I rotate. For me, what you have to do in these moments is I see the players day in, day out, every training session, every day. I see who's physically at it, who's mentally at it. So it's not about prioritising any fixture. We were playing Lyon, But what I do need to do is, for example, in the front areas with Terry out, you have limited selection, so you have to make sure that you have different types of game plans. So there was no way that we were just saving ourselves for Tottenham here. You also have to plan ahead, though, with this block of games coming thick and fast. So, of course, there's an awareness of it. But what I would say is that we never pick any team with one in mind. We had to try and balance what we've got within the squad.